I'm saying.
There's a rehabber.
There he is.
You got to remember to wear red.
I mean, get it.
All
You
right,
guys,
where
like,
is-
just keep excluding me. I don't have that.
Okay. Are we ready? Hello, Mark.
Used to be young, but
You've been around.
doing it.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I thought. Coming in six, you could have
How are
a
you,
fancy
Mark?
trip.
I'm good. How are you?
No, I don't have that one.
You know what? I never did. We never did get that thing signed.
Yeah, it's a,
Okay, good.
LA
Another cop.
before it gets.
All right, good deal. All right, I'll do that.
what happened was,
Oh, yeah.
All right, are we ready?
There in February. Orlando.
Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order, please.
Regular meeting of Washington, Missouri City Council, Tuesday, September 4th, 2018, 7 p.m. Heidrich.
Aye.
Holtmeyer.
Aye.
Moheski. Patke. Pettit.
Here.
Scornia.
Here.
Sullentrup. Waterman.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will all the council members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the council meeting dated August 20, 2018? Heidrich.
Aye.
Holtmeyer.
Aye.
Moheski.
Aye.
Patke.
Yes.
Pettit.
Yes.
Scornia.
Yes.
Sullentrup. Waterman.
Yes.
Having read the minutes, are there any comments or questions? Any corrections?
If not, I'll make a motion. Second.
We have a motion by Moheski, seconded by Heidrich, to approve the minutes from our last meeting dated August 20th, 2018. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? By your vote, you approve the minutes. Thank you.
Approval and adjustment of agenda, including consent agenda. You have the Collector's Report, May 2018, Investment Report, May 2018, Final Pay Request, Landmarks Association, Phase 2, International Shoe Factory Historic District, Change Order Number 1 and Final Pay Request, Understall Construction, Disconnect Storm Sewer Front Street, Pay Request Number 5, Washington Engineering and Architecture for the Schultz Industrial Park Stormwater Improvements.
Any questions or comments regarding any of those items? Sal?
You don't mind, I was just going to give a quick update. On the pay request number 5, that's item E, that is for the improvements to the stormwater retention basin right there in front of Frykes that we have a block grant for. We did meet with the contractor today to get an update on that schedule because I'm sure, as you all are aware, that project is it's about 82, well, it's closer to 100 days behind schedule. And so we're working on them with figuring out some lost days and then also getting a new completion schedule. And they gave us their new completion date of October 7th. So we're hoping they can at least stay on that. We found out that they were pretty much about 98% to being completed, and the swales and the new dam that was put in were put in a foot too high. And so they have to go back in and re-pour them and rebuild them. So. But that's about it, and they're going to go back, and it's going to meet the plans that were submitted to the state because it is a state program. So we're going to get what we applied for. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And the good news is that with the rain coming, it'll still function. We shouldn't have any issues downstream because they've gotten far enough along that it should at least be able to hold back water. We just won't have the swales and everything completed. So. And then on the final pay request, while I'm up here, that's Phase 2 of the International Shoe Factory District. That was a 50-50 grant that we got from the state. We have been approved for Phase 3, which is the final phase, and that is a 60-40 grant. So that one will actually be a little bit cheaper than the one we're completing now. So we're getting that bid, request for proposals out, and we always get one bidder in because there's not a lot of companies that do that type of survey work. And so you should see them in this winter, once the leaves change, taking some more pictures. So,
Any questions of Sal?
thank you.
Thank you. Any questions about the items? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Moheski, seconded by Heidrich, to approve the items on the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? By your vote, you approve the items. Thank you.
Priority items, mayor's presentations, appointments, and reappointments, mayor's proclamation, Suicide Prevention Awareness Month.
So this evening, we have a proclamation designating September the Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And here to accept that would be Chief Menifee and Captain Dave Boehm. And you're both involved with the task force, I assume?
Yes, I'm the council chair for the Frederick County CIT program.
Okay. He's the man who trains everyone in that wonderful program, so people know what to look for, right? All right, come on up. Okay, Mayor's Proclamation, City of Washington, Missouri, Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Whereas September is known around the United States as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month and is intended to help promote awareness surrounding each of the suicide prevention resources available to us and our community. The simple goal is to learn how to help those around us and how to talk about suicide without increasing the risk of harm. And whereas suicidal thoughts can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, race, orientation, income level, religion, or background. And whereas according to the CDC, each year more than 41,000 people die by suicide. And whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death among adults in the U.S. and the second leading cause of death among people aged 10 to 24. And whereas Washington, Missouri is no different than any other community in the country, but chooses to publicly state and place our full support behind local educators, mental health professionals, athletic coaches, PAC leaders, police officers, and parents as partners in supporting our community and simply being available to one another. Whereas local organizations like Suicide Prevention Services and national organizations like the National Alliance on Mental Illness are on the front lines of a battle that many still refuse to discuss publicly, as suicide and mental illness remain too taboo a topic to speak on. And whereas every member of our community should understand that throughout life's struggles, we all need the occasional reminder that we are all silently fighting our own battles. And now therefore I, Sandy Lucy, Mayor of the City of Washington, Missouri, do hereby proclaim September 2018 as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in the City of Washington and encourage all residents to take the time to inquire as to the well-being of their family, friends, and neighbors over the next few days, and to genuinely convey their appreciation for their existence by any gesture they deem appropriate. A simple phone call, message, handshake, or hug can go a long way towards helping someone realize that suicide is not the answer. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused to be affixed the seal of the City of Washington, Missouri, this 4th day of September 2018. Signed, Sandy Lucy, Mayor, and Mary Trentman, City Clerk. Thank you.
Well, not by myself.
Well, I know, but I know that that's an important part of our training for our officers. I've learned
Yes,
all
ma'am.
about that because they know what to look for,
Yeah.
right? Makes them aware. So you should say a few words.
First off, I'd like to applaud the council for taking the step of making this proclamation and your support for the CIT program, for the first responders and the mental health care providers. we greatly appreciate the support you're giving us. More specifically through the police department, Chief Menifee and his group of men and women support us and give us some of the tools that we need to do this training, using of the facilities, support any way that he can, and that's greatly appreciated, Ed. Along with the volunteer fire department in Washington, we've recently started to develop a relationship with them, and they are allowing us to use their training facilities as well. Really a quality training facility, and we greatly appreciate the support of the fire department and your support. And thank you on behalf of the council. I thank you very much for this proclamation tonight. Thank you.
So Captain Bame's been involved in CIT from the beginning?
Yes, sir.
When you were just a lieutenant?
Yeah.
Or before?
Just a lieutenant, yes, sir.
But he has helped bring about in Franklin County and the municipalities within it a change in the way we in police work look at mental health. We don't just throw those people in jail anymore. We're now geared towards looking at the issues they're having and how we can help them and what services we can get them to help them with the issues and make sure they're on their medications and make it better for them and our community and how we serve. And suicide is a big issue. From the calls we've had, I can tell you a week does not go by where we don't have an attempted suicide or a suicide ideations call where that subject's thinking about committing suicide. Not a week, sometimes several times a week. This weekend we had 2 over 3 days. People get desperate, they don't know where else to turn. Some of them have mental illness, some of them are just depressed. I'm here to tell the public that our officers and Franklin County deputies are out there to help them. If you see these situations with a family member, call us. We're trained to come in and we want to help. We don't want to throw them in jail. We don't want to cause a problem. We want to see that they get the help they need to feel better. That's our job. So when you notice those things, call us. We'll come and help gladly, get the services or whatever we need to do and help the family. Or if you're yourself are thinking of that, there's the hotline, suicide hotline, or call the police department. A CIT officer would be more than happy to come out and speak with you. So thank you.
Chief, how many of our officers are CIT trained?
Every one of them.
Every one of them? Okay.
So, and that's a goal we have set out for, and I think pretty well every agency in the county is trying to reach that goal. As every officer will be CIT trained, so that when they encounter someone with a mental health issue, they have a frame of mind on how to deal with them, rather than just as a law enforcement officer.
It's a great program.
And Officer Dave Burke, our school resource officer, is also our representative on the Franklin County CIT board, so he works hard at it. So thank you.
Yeah. Police Department reappointments.
Okay, this evening we have 2 reappointments to the Police Department, Lieutenant Mark Lindgren and Lieutenant Paul Kesterson. Both of those are, as usual, a 1-year reappointment. Chief?
Yes. Just got done with the evaluations on those 2, so I can tell you they're all right kind of guys. So they do a wonderful job. They help direct 2 squads apiece plus other activities within the department. They've always done a great job. They serve the city and its citizens well. and they're committed to that. So I would recommend you reappoint them.
Any
I'll make a
questions?
motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Patke, seconded by Holtmeyer, to approve the reappointments of Lieutenant Mark Lindgren and Lieutenant Paul Kesterson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? By your vote, you approve the reappointments. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. Thank you.
Board of Adjustment reappointment.
We also have a reappointment to the Board of Adjustment this evening. This would be Lloyd Meisner, and his term would end September of 2023. Any questions or comment? Lloyd used to be maybe alternate and then moved into being a regular member, I believe. So,
Correct.
A real good guy.
real good guy.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Holtmeyer, seconded by Patke, to approve the reappointment of Lloyd Meisner to the Board of Adjustment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? By your vote, you approve the reappointment. Thank you.
Citizens' comments.
Is there anyone here tonight who would like to address the council on any item that is not on the agenda?
Report of department heads.
John, do you have anything?
Ordinances and resolutions. An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and Tyler Technologies for Tyler Encode Intergov software and services.
Scornia.
Introduced by Councilman Scornia.
Good evening, Council. At the last Admin Ops meeting, I briefed you on the need of this software program to update the building department's permitting software to kind of bring us into the 21st century. And I would ask that you move forward with that. It would assist us in essentially getting permits, taking permits in, with the goal being that, working towards kind of an online way to process permits. You can apply for permits online. Hopefully we could pay for permits online. That's one of the goals we have this year. And this software will allow us to move forward with that. So I do feel like it is a very valuable asset to not only us as staff, but to the citizens who file for various occupancy permits, things of that nature.
Any questions or comments?
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a contract agreement by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and Tyler Technologies for Tyler Encode Intergov software and services. Heidrich?
Aye.
Waterman?
Yes.
Scornia?
Yes.
Sullentrup?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Moheski? Patke?
Yes.
Pettit?
Yes.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance amending sections 400.085 F4C, 400.095 F1, 400.115 G3B, 400.430 A1, and 400.435 A1 of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Councilman Holtmeyer.
Yes, this is the ordinance that follows the public hearing we held at our last council meeting. We didn't hear any comments from the public that night, nor did we have any comments submitted after that public hearing. So this ordinance reflects the changes you saw that night. So.
Any questions, comments?
Thank you.
An ordinance amending sections 400.085 F4C, 400.095 F1, 400.115 G3B, 400.430 A1, and 400.435 A1 of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri. Heidrich?
Aye.
Waterman?
Yes.
Scornia?
Yes.
Sullentrup? Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Moheski?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Pettit?
Yes.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance amending Schedule 4, no parking at any time of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Councilman Holtmeyer.
Okay, back in May, at the request, I believe, of Darren, to take a look at some parking regulations down on Main Street, specifically in front of the Missourian. There the parking on the south side in front of the Missouri and across from Joe's Bakery would be another spot. It is no parking. That was there back when the Missourian took large amounts of paper deliveries to that facility. So we did take a look at it. I did provide a kind of a rudimentary mock-up within the packet to show the parking stalls. We are just asking that we amend this parking ordinance to allow those spots to be parked in. There will be 2-hour parking, just like the rest of Main Street, in that location, and it would increase the parking downtown by 3 spaces, which is, quite frankly, a pretty significant increase. So, if you have any other questions? I would add one more thing. The curbs that are there will remain yellow because it takes a little bit of effort to remove paint from concrete. So we're looking on trying to get a sandblast or a water blasting contractor potentially to clean up some town that are yellow, just to have a bigger package. So they will remain yellow, but there will be parking stalls striped, and it will be signed to allow parking as well.
Any comments?
An ordinance amending Schedule 4, no parking at any time of the Code of the City of Washington, Missouri. Heidrich?
Aye.
Waterman?
Yes.
Scornia?
Yes.
Sullentrup? Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Moheski?
Yes.
Patke?
Yes.
Pettit?
Yes.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance approving a boundary adjustment for the property located at the corner of 309 Lafayette Street and 100 West 3rd Street in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Councilman Holtmeyer.
All right, this is a real simple boundary adjustment located just down the street here at the corner of 3rd and Lafayette. This is the new winery, Vino de Lafayette, and then the storage units right on the corner there. That building, the house, the original house where Vino de Lafayette is, actually is over the property line, and that's why you can see this leg that's coming out here. So they are swapping a small piece of property to, one, get the structure completely off of the neighboring property and moving this property line a little bit further south, just to kind of swap property. So they show the easements on there that's needed. There's no minimum lot size requirement in the downtown district, so there's really no issue with this. We recommend approval.
Any questions or comments?
Thank you.
An ordinance approving a boundary adjustment for the property located at the corner of 309 Lafayette Street and 100 West 3rd Street in the City of Washington, Franklin County, Missouri. Heidrich?
Aye.
Waterman?
Yes.
Scornia?
Yes.
Sullentrup?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Moheski?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
Pettit?
Yes.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
Commission, committee, and board reports. Mayor's report.
In your packet this evening is a letter from Mayor Englert from Berger. He had purchased one of our police vehicles and sent us a very nice thank you note for that. It seems like it's working out well. John has seen the car
I have.
in New Haven one day.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
They were.
The back of it?
There is no places to get fountain sodas in Berger, so I think they went to New Haven. So it looked. I pulled into town and it looked just like one of our cars. I was like, what are we doing in New Haven? It was Berger. So anyway.
Okay, well, they seem to be very happy about that. So it was a nice note that he sent. I also wanted to talk a little bit this evening about.
Excuse me, could we just get a motion to accept it into the minutes?
Oh, sure.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Patke, seconded by Holtmeyer, to accept that item into the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? By your vote, you accepted the item. Thank you. I also want to talk a little bit this evening about Prop D, which is the ballot issue that's going to be on the ballot at the November election to talk about a 10-cent fuel tax increase. It's designed to be 2.5 cents per year over the next 4 years. They have been working quite a bit lately to get the word out about it. The mayors of Missouri have organized into I'm trying to think of what exactly their title is right now, but they've held a meeting on the western side of the state, and this last week they held one in the St. Louis area to talk about the plans for getting this passed. Those of you who have been here a while know that we've talked about raising revenue for transportation for a long time, and one other time it made it to the ballot, but it was pushed up to go on the ballot in August instead of November when it was originally planned, and there hasn't been a lot of luck. And I think that here in Washington, we all know how important transportation dollars are. This year, there was an attempt to say that it was unconstitutional. That has been put to rest. It is okay to do this. And the governor is on board with it this year, and I believe there are legislators who are also on board, and it will be going to the vote of the people in November. Part of the revenues, Washington will receive $219,000 annually once this is what the estimate is, once it gets into all 4 years. So obviously the first year we would get 25% of that, but that's how they project it. Franklin County will receive $1.2 million, and Warren County will receive $399,000. So those are the projections, and one of the things that I think is important just with those three entities is the fact that with our new bridge here in Washington, there are a lot of things that are going to be spinning off of that, improvements to Highway 47, both north and south of the river. So it's an important time for us. So what I wanted to tell you was that this week at the MML conference, and I don't know how many of you have looked at the schedule very closely, but there will be a keynote address on Monday morning at 9 o'clock, and then beginning at 10:30 is going to be a time for networking. And so from 10:30 to 11:30 we can be networking. But also from 10:30 to 11:30, they're going to be holding a key messaging training at the MML conference. And I talked to them today about it. And if any of you who are attending the conference would like to attend this key messaging, because they're going to be rolling out how they're going to promote it, what the facts are, and things like that, you're certainly welcome to attend. I don't know exactly what room it's going to be in, but that will be from 10:30 to 11:30. I do plan to attend. And then I have also requested that we have a speaker attend our September transportation meeting. And I was on the phone with the gentleman who's kind of arranging all this right before I arrived here tonight. And he said, yeah, just get the request in, and they would have someone here at that meeting. And so what I'd like to do maybe is that when we do get them officially here, you know, get them confirmed, that we could maybe reach out to some of our other organizations. We could probably get quite a few people to attend a transportation meeting to talk about this. So kind of wanted to throw it out there to you all. I mean, I don't want to make the assumption that you all are supporting more revenue for sales, for fuel, for transportation. And I don't want to, you know, want to make sure that you all are on board, or that you have concerns that we can maybe address those or whatever. I think it's important for the region. I think it's important for our state. Governor Blunt, listen to me. Senator Blunt has thrown his support behind it, and he cites the idea that, you know, with Missouri being located in the center of the country, you know, a lot of transportation comes right through here, and that we could be using this additional revenue to leverage more federal grants and things like that. It's been 1996 was the last time the fuel tax was increased, and since that time, Missouri has added 2,500 more miles of road. So it's pretty amazing.
Also, Missouri is the 48th lowest in tax gas, where Alaska is the only other one that's lower than ours. But
right.
So that's really, I'm on the transportation. It's really important. We've been trying for years to get something even started to cover transportation, because our roads are getting worse and worse throughout the state. So this is a really big deal. If we can get behind it, that'd be really great.
Well, I think it's important that we take the opportunity to listen to this, you know, even at MML if we can, because we need to be advocates of this as well. We need to be proponents of it, because, you know, nobody likes to raise taxes. However, it's pretty sad that we are number 48 in the country. and we just haven't taken care of it. And you can see across the state, and they are saying that, this will kind of catch us up a little bit, but there may need to be some additional funding.
So if we're successful at getting them to go ahead and speak at our area transportation meeting, that'll be Monday, September 24th at 9 o'clock. So you can put that on your calendars if you'd like to go ahead and attend, if you would like to hear more other than what you may hear at the Municipal League. And we'll go ahead and work with the chamber to go ahead and make sure that they get the word out as well, too, so.
So the website is safermo.com. So if you want to go to the website and look to see what they're proposing, I think it's important. I see a lot of heads nodding, so. Anyway. Okay. All right, so I want to bring you up to speed, and when I get a location for that meeting and more information, I will let you know. I'll send it out. Okay, thank you.
City Administrator's report.
No report, but I do have one item in executive session.
Council comments.
I just wanted to congratulate John Mill just for being outstanding young professional nominated.
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you.
No.
Anyone else?
City Attorney's report. Public vote on whether or not to hold a closed meeting to discuss personnel, legal, and real estate matters pursuant to Section 610.021 RSMO 2000. Heidrich. Aye. Holtmeyer.
Aye.
Woheski. Hatke.
Yes.
Pettit.
Yes.
Skornia.
Yes.
Sullentrup.
Yes.
Waterman.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Mark's good.